welcome back to Simply Home and Harvest. Well, today our work is cut out for us. I've got my harvesting basket, got some water, got some work shoes on, dressed to get at it today. I've got Tim and Alex here to help me, thankfully, but our garden has gotten a little out of control, and I say that because we've had a lot of rain, and of course we had a heat wave for a couple of weeks, and then I had a flare up with my back and couldn't get in the garden for about a week and a half and couldn't do any kind of strenuous activity. I was having to rest, so things got a little bit behind. That's just life, right? So today we're going to get out here, we're going to put some hard work in and see if we can reclaim our space. It's time to pull up a lot of vines that just aren't producing. It's time to probably till again because we've got an area that's really just overtaken by weeds, and that's the area that I want to plant our lettuce in for the fall. So some things we just need to clean up. I know we've got a lot of tomatoes out there. I've been processing tomatoes this week to get them ready to can some pizza sauce and spaghetti sauce. I'm not sure if I'm going to do salsa this year. I'll have to check and see what our supply looks like, but that's the plan. So I'm going to take you along, show you the before, and then hopefully a much improved after. Okay, so let me show you this for starters. Walked out and noticed this eaten tomato on top of our swing sitting out here, and we noticed that some of the tomatoes had been bitten into and left on the ground, and so obviously whoever the culprit is able to climb up here and enjoy their little snack. So I'm going to bet the squirrels are at it again, but I don't think it's a deer. I don't think it's a deer. I don't think it's a groundhog. So I'm gonna go with a squirrel. So the good news is lots of red tomatoes to harvest. And I just did this a couple of days ago. So looks like we are finishing up on getting our tomatoes in. Just about all of our green tomatoes. Well, I still see some green tomatoes, but most of them have ripened. So it's time to go ahead and harvest most of these. There's a few that, are still green over here. But for the most part, lots and lots to harvest. Okay, so that's the good news. And then here's some not so good news. Plenty of vines, green vines, look pretty. These cucumber vines, but no cucumbers. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull all those up. So we're in August now. By now, cucumber season is pretty much over. Recover my bean plants in here. I see some beans, but not, oh, there's a nice size one. We'll get what we can out of here, try to get this cleaned up and let them go a little bit longer. And this one's really pretty. Just need to clean it up a bit. I'm gonna check on our corn too. I'm not sure if it's ready yet. We'll peel this one back and see, but I think it's getting close. If we get anything, we didn't really have a good corn harvest. Not much came up. I think we planted like 50, but we ended up with 7 stalks, and we had to replant a couple times. Just a wonky year. That one might be ready. We'll see. And then I think I told y'all about this cucumber mystery, where this cucumber plant that I bought from the nursery, and I bought several of them and planted them with my other cucumbers, which should have been pickling cucumbers, and they all started to grow like this. It's like a little fuzz ball. It gets bigger, still the same size and texture, and I cut the inside open. Looked like part watermelon seed, part cucumber seeds, and then the taste was just not that great. So I think I'm just gonna dig all these out. I don't know if we had a cross-pollination issue or what. That's my suspicion, but anyway, we gave it a good try. We'll know to do some things differently next year. Here's a little look at what we deal with in our area. We get just overtaken by whatever this mossy kind of weed is, and especially when we have a lot of rain. It's hard to keep the grass out of the garden. Now, a few weeks ago, wasn't very long ago, we got all our potatoes out. We had this all tilled and ready, but I didn't stay on top of it, of course, and so this is what we're looking at again. So we've got all this area to clean up because this is where we want to put our lettuce. So, you know, these things happen. This is part of gardening. This is maybe the part that you don't get to see on Instagram and Facebook and maybe even YouTube. But today I'm going to show you. I've shown you a lot of the good. I've showed you some of the bad. Today we're just looking at the ugly. This is the ugly part of gardening. Looking to see if we have any green peppers. Our green peppers have steadily been coming in. Oh yeah, look, here's one hidden down in here. Oh, that's a beautiful green pepper. Can y'all see that? Look at that one. We'll get that one for sure. All right, and we'll get my harvest basket full, and then we're gonna get to work. This is the back side of our tomatoes. Our little chickens in the background. But this is a little bit of a mess that we're gonna clean up today. Can't wait. Just an update too on our mole issue. We're probably gonna have to reposition those stakes that we put in the ground. We put, if you watched one of the last videos, we were trying out these solar powered mole repellent stakes. We put one in each corner of the garden, but it seems like the mole issue has continued in the center of the garden. So I noticed when I walked through here today, it was pretty bad. So we may have to reposition them, put them more toward the center. We'll see, we'll just keep trying. Really bad spot right there. Anyway, I'm wondering if it might be too wet to get the tiller in here today. It's still pretty wet. It did rain yesterday, but if we keep waiting for days of no rain, we might be waiting for a while. We seem to be getting lots of pop-up showers. Hello, chickens. Let's see, we have Chickaletta over here. And Stubby. This one right here has been giving us a lot of trouble. Y'all pray for that chicken. She's a menace. This one is a sweet girl. Aren't you my sweet girl? Yes. She's perfect.
Look at that harvest.
Not bad at all. A little heavy.
A little heavy.
This looks like a cantaloupe.
It smells like a watermelon.
Does it?
Yep, smell it. Don't smell like a cucumber to me.
No, I get some cucumber in that too. And melon, yeah. It definitely smells like cucumber melon. They used to have a scent at Bath & Body Works. I don't know if they still have it. It was called cucumber melon, and that's the way it smelled.
I don't think it's natural.
It's not natural, but that's what we are growing. We are growing cucumber melons, and I don't want to eat them. They're not good. I had one. We'll see if the chickens like them. You want to come try the treat? She's always the first one in here to try a treat. Let's see if she likes it.
She likes the seeds, probably.
Yeah, she's going for the seeds. Well, they're like, hey, how do we get in on this?
I just left a flower in there for them. They're
How
scared
nice.
of flowers. They're scared of flowers. I tried to give it to one of them and they started running.
It's funny. I don't know. It definitely looks like a honeydew, but it does not smell like one. Interesting. So interesting. All right, come on in here. Come on. Come this way. Hey, you.
Let's see.
She's not so sure. That's how I was trying it for the first time, too.
Right there.
Where's the back door? Disturbing too much, so we'll see what happens there. Left this little zinnia that volunteered itself this year right here in the middle of our cucumbers. Got all the cucumbers out. We did find some hidden cucumbers down in there that we didn't know we had, and then now I'm working on the beans, so we'll see what we can get as far as our harvest today out of our beans. Leaving off today. Looks a whole lot better. There's still little pieces of grass everywhere, and we'll just have to keep working with that. But we got the majority of the weeds up, got this started to get it ready for our lettuce crop for the fall, and harvested all the tomatoes we're going to harvest for today and peppers. And then I cleaned up our green beans, harvested the green beans that were ready for today. And some of these green beans, some are bush beans and some are pole beans, but they were all in the same bag, so I need to fix these a little bit better. But I went ahead and got a tomato cage to see if we could help them do a little climbing, because I think that's what they're wanting to do. It'll make it a whole lot easier to harvest as well. Cleaned up this area here that used to have the cucumbers to give our watermelon a little bit more room, and hopefully they'll continue to ripen. If not, we'll have a little snack for the chickens. They're enjoying all these little bits that we're not. And then we did grab a couple of corn that were ready, but looks pretty good. Here's a look at what we pulled out of the garden today. Lots and lots of tomatoes. Some cucumbers, that's the end of those. Some green peppers, and then 6 eggs so far. So, nice harvest for today. Well, that was a lot of hard work, but it felt so good to have that project accomplished. There's just nothing like looking out the window and seeing your garden with fewer weeds and a good harvest coming in. We can still look outside and see that there's tomatoes still on the vines that are going to need attention in the next couple of days. But for now, we've got enough to make our pizza sauce and salsa, and you will see that probably in the next video. I'm going to end it here, but I just wanted to say that, you know what, that's gardening, right? Sometimes things get away from you. This year was definitely, as we were working out there, Tim said, you know, this just shows you that this year your priorities were a little bit different. And that's true right there at the beginning of garden season. We were getting ready for a graduation, and we were getting ready for vacation, and just so much was going on that it was hard to really put the work in and to stay on top of things this year. But it has been a wonderful year. It's been a wonderful summer. We've been able to travel. We've been able to spend time with family out of town that we went to visit in Georgia and then came here and we got to spend some time with. So we've had a wonderful summer full of family and friends and lots of activities. Sometimes, you know, you have to do what's more important. And the garden is nice and it's fun, but it's not the most important thing. Family is the most important thing, and spending time with your loved ones. And so that won this year, and it should really win every year. Maybe next year will be different. You know, we might scale back. I'm looking out there and I'm like, okay, I am not growing watermelon anytime soon. I've tried watermelon several times. I said I would never do it again. And then of course, you know, I get to the local garden center and the plants call out to me. It happens all the time. I took a break from okra, but I really missed growing the okra this year. Last year it was my favorite thing to grow, and I really missed having that beautiful okra in the garden. So probably we'll put that back on the list for next year. Probably we'll grow some zucchini next year. But I think we'll take a break on beans unless I completely change my mind. And we're gonna see if we can rearrange things to get a better cucumber harvest next year. So, little things that we've learned. Our tomatoes did amazing. Our potatoes did amazing. The peppers are doing great. We got, the corn that we did get looks really good. And last year we got a lot of corn, but several of the ears of corn did not cover the whole ear. Like they had kernels on one side, the other side was empty. You'll have to go back and watch some of those videos from last year. Kind of comical, but that's gardening. That's how it goes. You don't know from one year to the next. But for this year, you know, we've learned a few things. I feel like we did the best we could. We did the best we could. The Lord provided what we needed. And you know what? If we didn't get those things in our garden this year, then thankfully we've got resources. I can go to the farmer's market. I can pick up some local fresh produce that someone else was able to successfully grow this year. That's my preferred way to get it. But I can also go to the grocery store, you know, and thankfully we do have the means to be able to do that. So we just have to do the best we can, right? And not sweat the small stuff. All right, well, I am going to get ready for canning, which like I said, you'll see in the next video. So thank you for being here today. If you haven't already, I would love for you to stick around, hit that subscribe button, hit this like button, share it with your friends. And until next time, remember to live simply, use what you have, enjoy the moments you've been given. I will see you all in the next one.